Which among us, and she must be found before she burns this whole place to the ground. Away, 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 away. She's been looking around, she's the talk of the town since she came here on All Hallows Eve. She'll corrupt all the women and ruin all the men before finally taking a lead. Oh, deny all you want, but I know what she's done, and I know that she's up to no good. Then by calling us heathens, you're denying the demons that live in your own neighborhood. Away, just stay out of the woods, 'cause she's up to no good unless you're prepared for a fight. 'Cause the witch has the power and it is witching hour, so you better off elsewhere tonight. Oh, grab your pitchforks and start your fire. Grab your loved ones and run for your lives. There's a witch among us and she must be found before she burns this whole place to the ground. Away, away, away. Just stay out of the woods, 'cause she's up to no good unless you're prepared for a fight. 'Cause the witch has the power and it is witching hour, so you better off elsewhere tonight. Oh,
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Off the Grill podcast. Something's wrong here. Yeah. This ain't my channel. Oh, yeah, obviously everyone knew this was happening. It was scheduled. It's not really that surprising to anyone, but I'm glad you guys are here, one and all. And I'm not alone tonight. I've got a pretty decent guest going on here. Someone you guys may have heard of. He's getting to be a pretty big name around these parts. But, oh boy, wrangled him. Ladies and gentlemen, Christian Hanahara.
Hey now.
What is up?
What's up, man?
Good to see you here.
Hell yeah.
Glad to be finally getting this done.
Hell yeah, dude.
With
Happy
you,
to be
man.
here.
Yeah. It's good shit. So what have you been up to? Because I feel like you haven't been over on Smores Indoors in a while either. So there's two audiences.
Yeah. Mostly work, man. Stuff, making wax melts, trying to keep up a YouTube channel. Got a band. Try to do my own music. I give myself too much shit to do, honestly.
Literally.
You know.
Holy shit.
Yeah. Sometimes I wear myself out or wear myself too thin.
Yeah,
But
man. I was doing literally just this for a while, and that was too much. And then just trying to like be an adult human and dating and all that shit too. I don't know.
I have a compulsion to stay busy.
Okay.
I don't know. I don't know why, but I like to always be working on something. So that's my problem, I guess.
It's a good problem to have. I wish I had the talent to be able to stay busy the way you have. Like, listen, obviously, something is different as far as our YouTube algorithm goes, but you're a singer, guitar player. I'm sure you could play the drums at least a little bit, bass player, all that shit. So I can't do any of that. So you have a whole realm of things that you can keep busy with, though.
You could, if you wanted to,
I could figure it out,
you know.
I suppose, but what are we
Hell
gonna
yeah.
do? But let's check the chat. We got Orc in the house here. Daniel Shine with a shout out. And Corey Ross, of course, Mr. Bombastic. Everybody's showing out tonight. Happy Father's Day, Billy Bean. Monster tube steak is a gross over exaggeration, I will say. My chick will back that up.
There you go.
She'll go, it's cute though. Dan says you're not fooling anyone, Deacon Taylor. What'd you do with Corey? Sad reminders. Yo, it's my favorite man with a plan. What's up, my man? Big T in the house. So a shout out to Planet CHH.
Big T, what's up?
Dan says, what up, Christian? Oh, my main man himself in the house. Old boss man says, this is odd but fun. Good to see you hanging out, watching in your car, Corey. Not the safest thing, but I'm not going to dock points. Oh, Christian, we got questions right off the bat. Dan asks, when will we get Tromo wax melts from you, Nita?
I definitely want to do those. The issue is, go ahead. I'm sorry.
By all means.
So the issue is, it's really my wife's, thing. Obviously, I'm just like the Billy Mays of it. I promote them.
Yeah.
But like convincing her, like, Sydney, there's an audience for this. It's not like I had to wear her down so much just to do Puppet Master, which we haven't done yet, but
Right.
we will. And she's just like, that's not big enough. I'm like, what are you talking about? So Troma would be a very big sell, but she does like the Toxic Avenger. She's seen the movies. So if we did anything, it would be that. It's just a matter of when, because she plans everything out. But it'll happen.
Definitely makes sense. And I feel like that's when you might be able to get like an official, Troma release.
Wouldn't that be nice?
Like, I don't feel like that would be too hard to broach. He seems to be, he's not the only figure I think you have to convince, but
I feel like if I hit him up, he would just say, I don't care, just do it anyway.
Yeah. But imagine if he just shows up in a video or some shit, I'll come on down to Louisiana. Let's film something.
I love Lloyd. That'd be a dream come true.
Be cool as shit for you. I know that. Oh, Billy Bean, happy birthday as well. But he might pass out in the middle of the show. So.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday. Joe Bob Purdue.
Hi, Joe Bob.
That son of a bitch doesn't come on over to my channel, so I don't even know why I'm fucking throwing him up there. I'd like to have to dodge all his wackiness. But good to see you nonetheless, Joe Bob. It's been a minute. Let's see. Billy says this is like switching the TV to Popeye and finding out Tom and Jerry's on. It is kind of messed up here. But where are we going? Dan says, you're only Billy Mays if you promote them while doing cocaine. But he also asks, he's also curious what the scent would be on that Tromo release if he did like a Toxic Avenger.
I don't know. Good question. I'm for some reason my brain goes to the cartoon, so I'm thinking the melt would be greenish, and I'd
Yeah.
make it some kind of lime or I don't know.
Me too. I was thinking like heavy, like Kool-Aid lime, just like
Right,
bright,
right.
fucking fluorescent.
That's what comes to mind. Yeah.
Yeah. Dan says Lloyd isn't too hard to lock down. Oh boy, this is interesting. I don't know, whatever. But anyway, folks, I didn't bring Christian here just to idly chatter about, things. We're going to do something I intended to do a couple weeks ago, months ago, maybe. I don't even remember anymore. But shit happened. And I feel like there was some kind of hurricane down there, some kind of wacky storm. It's dangerous where you are. You know that, right?
Yes. A town 30-40 minutes from me, the whole giant city's wiped out. They haven't had power for going on. This will be the third day tomorrow that they don't
That's
have power.
insane.
We've been having. Dude, I'm knocking on wood for this year. It's not looking good for hurricane season. Last year was incredible. I didn't nothing, barely rain last year. Got a bad feeling this year's gonna be brutal.
So you're saying is you're due.
Yeah.
But,
Time to pay up.
But
So
anyway, delayed but not canceled. The third edition now of Down the Drain, which of course is the show that I stole from BBC's Room 101 and also go straight to hell over on the Cultaholic YouTube channel, where essentially I ask my guest to bring 5 things. And now Jay and Jonathan had to keep it horror related. I told you, feel free, whether it's horror, movies, TV, other genre, music, everyday life, shit that pisses you off, bring it up, pitch it to me as to why it needs to be dumped down the tubes.
okay, so I was thinking about this earlier, just like things that piss me off, that I hate, pet peeves, if you will, is I think the term. One of the things that annoys the shit out of me is people that will be in public and have phone conversations on speaker and just talk, and they're never interesting conversations.
No.
It's usually bullshit, but that's the worst. Or if I'm going to the bathroom and some dude's taking a shit and he's on the phone talking, I don't know what it is about that. It annoys the fuck out of me. I can't stand it when people do that.
I couldn't handle it. I went on vacation to Tennessee last year, so a lot of truck stops. One of them, we got somewhere close, and there was like Moe's attached to truck stops. It blew my mind. I was just, I couldn't be more happy. I'm not even a big Moe's fan, but it's such a change of pace from Wendy's. There's this dude in the fucking stall, just taking a shit, big, loud, just like a comedy movie from like the mid 2000s loud, kind of like Harold and Kumar Go to White Castle, the battle shits.
Yeah.
And he's on the phone, or what I'm guessing a big headset, just it's like he's like as he's going, and I'm like, this isn't, someone's fucking with me. But then the smell kind of like wafted. It kind of made that perfect storm with my smell, and it was just, I almost died.
Dude, it's crazy. It's funny because, like, I think about it, I could never be brazen enough to have a conversation with somebody in public that they could hear.
Yeah,
dude. Some people, they literally have no fear, or they just don't give a fuck, and they will talk. They will walk through stores with their phone blasting. You can hear them. Oh man, some people. I remember one time, it was like last year. I had like this horrible sinus infection. I'm sitting in the waiting room. And this girl is just talking on the phone with her boyfriend, and like speakers on. It just back and forth the whole time. She's like 2 seats away from me, and they're talking about like personal shit too. Like it wasn't nothing crazy. I'm just like, fuck. Like, do you really want me to hear this? Like, do you not like have anything you want to keep private in your life? Like, you just having a conversation with like strangers listening to your everyday shit like you have to deal with. It's like, I don't know. That's one of my pet peeves. It's like, fucking talk on the phone. Like, I don't care if I hear you. Obviously, you got to talk,
Right.
but like,
Right.
fuck,
Right.
turn the
I don't
speaker
even.
off.
I personally don't even like doing that. I hate making phone calls around people. Like so,
Yeah.
like the idea of doing it so brazenly in public and like you said, just fucking.
And this is the reverse side of this. I just thought about this. I always, a lot of times, if I talk to somebody on the phone, I'll ask, "Hey, am I on speaker?" I don't like when I'm talking to somebody on the phone and they have me on speaker. My mom is the world's worst. I don't know what it is about old people. They don't hold the phone up to their ear anymore. They just put it on speaker. Because
Oh.
I talk very vulgar to my mom.
Yeah.
Very vulgar. And so, like, I'll say really messed up stuff, and like she'll have me on speaker in front of my grandma, my brother, her kids, his kids, and stuff. And I'm like, Mom, take me off a speaker, because I'll start talking, and she'll be like, "Wait up, Christian, hold on, you don't be careful." I'm like, "What?" And she's like, "People around." I said, "Take me off a goddamn speaker. Take me
Stop
off the
saying the
goddamn
N-word,
speaker.
Christian.
Take me off a speaker, Mom. Stop it." You know.
I'm in the middle of Marshalls. Stop saying the N-word.
Yeah, just swap Marshalls with like Kohl's, and then that's basically it. My mom's the same way. Actually, no, I don't think my mom will do it in public, just at home. But still, it's just like,
Yeah.
oh man.
Joe Bob says his mom does that sometimes.
Hmm.
Oh, I think he switched into his other account is what happened here. Okay. Thank you, Joe Bob. I appreciate that. That's going to make it much easier to incorporate you. But let's get back to these stupid comments by these sweet people. Cliff Booth says Dan wants a black lung loogie scented wax melt called Farouz's Ghost.
I'll sell a ton of those.
You wouldn't be able to keep them in stock. Oh, Lord. Billy says he's halfway through a bottle of Johnny Walker Black, and my eighth of purple I bought is less than a dime.
Damn.
Big T says we need 90s themed candles.
Hell yeah. Carpet, Blockbuster Carpet. What's that smell like?
Well, man, I mean,
Blockbuster Carpet, gumball machines.
The gumball one could be pretty solid. Yeah, he did. Okay, good.
Crayolas.
That's. You know what? I think you could mix like the popcorn one with like some kind of fucking candy related one, and that might come off all right. Or like pull off that. Is there a raisin scent? Can you figure that out? Like chocolate raisins.
If you can think
popcorn.
of it. If you can think of it, there is in fact a scent for it that I could get.
Crazy. That's so crazy. I know you could do a Boy Meets World one where the father's a white supremacist. I guess I never realized that the father in American History X that dies, like know, off screen before the movie takes place, is the father in Boy Meets World. Which
I remember reading. Yeah.
But I haven't watched that one for a while. That might be a nice live commentary. We'll do American History.
I thought you could say that might be a nice wax melt American. You gotta be very careful how I make
it. It just smells like milk and empanadas. There's just kind of a throwback to the scene at the grocery store. That's bad. I'm sorry, Corey. Hopefully you have a channel to come back to. We'll see. Joe Bob wonders what a cocaine scented candle would smell like. I've got a pretty good idea, I'll tell you that.
Smell like Stephen King.
Yeah. 80s Stephen King.
Slipcover scented.
Slipcover scented candle.
That's funny.
Lauren would lose his shit. But I'm just going to say it. I know we trailed off a little bit. If you're talking on your phone, on speakerphone, in public, you're an asshole and you should be shot. It's going down the drain. I get it. Listen, there are extenuating circumstances, like your grandmother has a stroke, in the middle of Walmart. Yes, by all means, whatever you need to do. If it needs to be on speaker. No, matter of fact, not even then. If you can't talk to 911 with the phone up to your ear or throw an AirPod in, you're an asshole, and your grandmother deserves what she gets. What else you got?
I'll do something horror related. I was thinking about. I've talked about this at nauseum. Um, and it's really just me being more pissy about it than anything. I I get so burnt out and just like, oh, on hearing anybody say any kind of horror film from any of the big slasher franchises like Elm Street, Friday, Halloween, any of them being called underrated. Like, how many millions of people need to see these movies for it to stop being called underrated? Maybe just not a lot of people like Halloween 5. It doesn't mean it's underrated, for fuck's sake. Millions of people have seen it. They have an opinion on it. That doesn't mean it's underrated. Like, that's like, and it's really not just that. It's like anything, like any big movie nowadays. People will, like, I used to go on Twitter as a joke and say Halloween is underrated, and people
Yeah.
would be like, "Yeah," and I was like,
I agree, man.
you know, that's like those terms. I try not to ever use them. I really try not to even use them anymore because I feel like they're so diluted now. I think the word really just means this movie's underrated. It means some of my friends don't like this movie as much as I do. That's what they're
Yeah.
really saying.
It is at this point. It's kind of crazy. I know you and I have spoken about this probably off air or whatever, but I have just kind of on my own tried to stray away from that. Like sometimes it's difficult, and some things are just underrated. But
Right.
it's one of those. It's like awesome. It's just kind of lost all meaning. It's
Yeah.
underrated. Is on the same path, I think.
Yeah, you'll see it used for like a movie like Nightmare 4. Millions and millions of people have seen it.
Yeah.
It's not underrated.
And,
To me, it's
by
like
the way,
to me it's like a movie that, like, Manhunter.
yeah,
Like, it's completely buried.
underrated.
Yeah, that's something I would throw the term out for.
Yeah,
It's not even,
that's a hell
it's
of a movie.
completely buried now because of the,
Yeah.
not Hopkins, Anthony Anthony
Anthony,
Hopkins. I get
yeah,
Perkins and
just
Hopkins
lost their
confused.
names.
Yeah, once
Yeah,
he came into
yeah.
the picture, all his movies, like, all that's completely mainstream, bada bing, bada boom. But the Michael Mann film, it's buried, and it's really genre fans that know about it and stuff. And I was like, dude, that one is really underrated. Like, check that movie out. And a lot of times, people I'll talk to, they'll be like, "What is that?" They don't even know, And it's just like, that's when I'll try to use a term like that. But, like, no, Nightmare 4 is not underrated.
No.
Stop.
And by the way, Nightmare 4 is very well regarded by everyone that's not a dork on YouTube. Like that one is like psychotic to call underrated. You want to call like part 5 underrated, maybe, but like you said, it's a movie from one of the 3 biggest horror franchises of all time. None of them are underrated.
That's how I feel
But
about
like,
it.
within the series, like if you want to make that caveat, then sure, But guys, if you listen, there's this really crazy picture out of 1987. I don't know if you've heard of it. It's called Dream War.
Yeah, it's
Dream Fighters. What the fuck is it? It was really cool.
What gets me is like the terminology, words that only YouTubers use. Like, that kills me. One of my favorites is underappreciated.
Yeah.
What the fuck is that? Underappreciated. Like, just saying it makes me have to laugh. Like, I can't say it and take myself seriously. Dude, that movie is really underappreciated.
Well, they took underrated and just added like an extra 2 syllables?
Just say appreciated, not underappreciated. Like, I see it. I see a lot. Underappreciated.
Yeah, like, I appreciate this. Who gives a, like, you appreciate someone bringing you a fucking cup of coffee. Yeah. I don't know. There's nothing that like fucking pisses me off than people using words like that.
Folgers Dark is underappreciated coffee, dude. Folgers Classic
doesn't get its due.
Like I said, I have weird pet peeves, man. Like, my stuff is odd little things, like that's one of them. And it's really not I guess you could say it's a pet peeve. It's just like, I roll my eyes. Yeah. I roll my eyes at it. It's just like, oh my God. What else is underrated, people? Please tell me. Fuck.
Well, I think Dan is coming for you because he says he'd rather drink Jake's Dip Cup than watch Dream Child again.
Okay, Tommy Dreamer. A little inside baseball on that one.
Holy shit. All right. Let's check this out here quick. See if they've got any relevant commentary. Joe Bob says he wasn't a Boy Meets World fan.
Why not?
He was a Coach, Roseanne, and Home Improvement fan.
I like Boy Meets World.
Yeah, it was okay, I guess. I don't know. It was like I'll watch it if it's on, but it was never for me appointment viewing.
Dude, Mr. Feeney still has gas in the tank. Dude's like in his mid-90s now. He's still alive and kicking.
Oh no, there's no gas in that tank. His family is pushing that vehicle just off the cliff, however long that takes. Like there's like just videos of him at signings now where like, hey, William, sign this.
Really?
Like they're not hitting,
man.
but yeah, he is. That's a bummer. But what are you gonna do? He did rape Ben Shapiro after all. Big T says Mick Foley was there as well. I guess that's at the Ben Shapiro raping. I don't know. Which would explain Mick Foley's weird Twitter thing now. Or, he needs the attention, I guess. Billy says, I rarely use underrated, but I will say Near Dark is underrated. It was overshadowed by leather-clad boy band members and the two Coreys. I'd
agree with that because Near Dark, you can't even own it right now. So naturally, a lot of people haven't seen it.
That's fucking weird because what movie was it? I don't know. I did a short the other day on a movie, and Billy said I need to get to this, and I planned on it like Friday night, I think it was, and it's gone. It was on Shudder like a month ago. You can't buy it on it. You can't rent it on Amazon or YouTube or anywhere. It's just fucking which I feel like is completely weird that it's not available anywhere. Like I didn't check Vudu, but if it's not on Amazon or YouTube, it's probably not going to be on Vudu. Dan asks, have you watched any Dark Side of the Ring this year, Christian?
No, I have Hulu though, so as long as I can pull it up on there or rent it once it airs, right? I think I was like buying them for like $2.99 an episode on Prime. After, I am excited to see the Sunny one for sure.
Yeah, that one. I'm hoping that one still has some interesting shit to, glean from it. But I feel like that story is pretty well traveled.
Yeah, but you know what it is? I just think it's the mood of those episodes. Like they make them all seem like dark,
Yeah, so
like,
I don't mind this, like the story and shit, and then like the visuals with like the stand-ins and all that are it's kind of cool to see what they come up with and what they actually like try to reenact or whatever.
Right.
I fucking hate Chris Jericho's voice. He is not a narrator. I don't know. Like I don't really know what they thought.
You know who was a good narrator? From me, it was raise your right hand and put it over your heart and say to Dutch. He did the first.
Oh yeah,
I like Dutch.
Yeah, Dutchman tells good shit.
I liked him. Yeah, I'm a little burnt out on Jericho doing it.
Yeah, because he's fucking. There's nobody that's tarnished their legacy more in the last 4 years. That's like 4 years. He went from like all-timer, first ballot Hall of Famer, no doubt, to look at his fucking like he's almost as embarrassing as like watching Nikolai Volkov clumsily flop around on like wrestling mats, like amateur wrestling mats.
Yeah, I don't know. I'd have to agree. To me, again, I don't really watch AEW that much anymore, but when I do see clips, it looks like the 38-year-old guy hanging out with the 18-year-old kids trying to be cool. That's what it looks like now.
Well, you got 65-year-old Sting hanging out with 20 whatever something Darby Allin.
Yeah.
And like Sting is the fucking force.
Yeah.
It's everything's backwards there. But Cliff Booth says Topanga Lawrence is 100% the woman Fairuza ever was. Dan says Undertaker didn't know Dreamer was going to actually do that in the segment. His reaction was legit. That's still fucking disgusting. I don't care. Joe Bob says from Kit to Mr. Feeney. That's fucking crazy. William Daniels is 96. Yeah, he's up there. She's adorable, but nowhere near Feruz's level. Dan says YouTube gets every episode of Dark Side of the Ring. It's the most pirated series ever.
Yeah, but they have to do like these weird editing things on those
yep.
episodes to
It's not
keep you
worth
stay up. Yeah, I if I don't see every natural frame of the episode, I'll feel like I'm missing out, and I can't deal with it. I'll pay.
No,
I'll
I
pay for
agree.
it. You know.
Well, I was gonna say, don't waste your money because I can get you nice copies for free.
Okay. Moving on.
Dan says the Zeb Coulter run was a blast.
Zeb Coulter. Yeah, that was the name I was hitting.
Big T says Jericho is the Gene Simmons of pro wrestling. He's everywhere. Dan says Sting's just making sure Darby doesn't start cutting again.
God damn.
And then he's also curious why we haven't gotten a Waterboy 2. Which you would think with like that Netflix deal that Sandler had, he would be able to fucking pay some of his several $billion, I imagine at this point, to get the rights to it if he didn't own them already. Like that seems, and like Kathy Bates will do fucking anything, you know. Like she seems like she's just bored.
But I don't know, man. Like I'd love to see another great Adam Sandler film.
Me too.
Again,
and like people have been trying to fucking, thump the table for that Hubie Halloween, but I don't know. I really can't even bring myself to watch that thing.
It doesn't play. It wasn't like a no. Excuse me. It's like a legitimately, overtly like ridiculously bad film. He does that ridiculous speech impediment thing.
Yeah.
I feel like he took that from another character in another movie, but I can't remember what it was. It's kind of like Bobby Boucher without the stutter in Hubie Halloween. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe I'll give it a shot, but I for some reason had these real high hopes when that Netflix deal got announced. None of it has even looked interesting to me.
There was one of them I watched. It's like not funny, but for some reason I'll go back and watch it once every 6 months. It's the one, again, it's really not great, but it's the one where like his daughter is getting married to this guy, the black guy, and Chris Rock is that movie the week of. It's not good, but there's something about it. Yeah, there's something about it though. I'll go back and watch. I think the only thing that's funny to me is how when he gets in the car, he doesn't want to turn the AC on at all. Even when Chris Rock is like, "You want that AC on, man? Just let me know. Let me know." Okay, go ahead. Yeah. That's right. You want it on? You let me know. Okay, turn it on. Then it turns on 10 seconds later. Okay, that's enough for now. Like I don't know why, but that's funny. But it's not great cinema. No.
But it did make me want to fucking watch something else, which a lot of stuff on Netflix will make me do. So
yeah,
that is a big plus. But Big T says Adam Sandler had talked a while ago about wanting to do a Sandlerverse movie with his most prolific characters.
I don't know.
I don't know. That seems like a very bad idea to me.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like, especially because all those movies are coming up on being like 30 years old, Like within 10 years, I think all of the good ones are going to be fucking 30.
Yeah.
So
what's your favorite?
Of like his movies that are like the Happy Madison, whatever's, it'd definitely be Billy Madison.
Yeah.
But like just out of that like 90s time period, it would be Bulletproof with him and Damon Wayans. Fucking love that movie.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a good one.
But what about you?
I'm a Wedding Singer guy.
Oh shit, that's a good one too.
The soundtrack's incredible, and I love that movie. I think that's the best Drew Barrymore ever looked too. I loved her in that movie.
Yeah.
And then her friend
Yeah,
was
I don't
hot
think I
too.
could agree or disagree. All those trashy 80s style was nice on women. Like that was a great fucking period for the gals. I don't know. I mean, some of it, like if you look at like your parents' fucking yearbook, my parents anyway. I don't know. I have young parents, but they look fucking embarrassing, and all of their friends did too. But like on a, the shit that they're imitating, they all look fantastic.
Mm.
But yeah, so as far as underrated goes, Wedding Singer, underrated? Question mark? Question mark? That's yeah. I'm gonna start doing stupid videos like that. Fuck. But
Oh
yeah,
man.
underrated can go down to fucking drain. We're done with that. I should get toilet sounds. I should, but I won't. What else you got for me, big guy?
Oh, what else is annoying to me? Um, it's really like cliche because I think this pisses a lot of people off. But specifically, I get more annoyed when I'm on the phone and people do it to me. Everything's on the phone with me, right? People chewing with their fucking mouth open, it annoys me, but it's even worse when I'm talking to somebody on the phone and they're doing it. Dude, I just get I get I don't know what it is. I get outraged about it. Like I want to get physical when I hear people chewing that with their mouth open. It just makes me I don't
On
know,
the
dude.
phone, especially, that's incredibly disrespectful.
It's
Like
my
I
mom
can't
does it.
imagine. Oh,
And I'll be like, "Stop, mom. God damn it." What? What?
if you were over to her house and you drop like a pot on her foot once, don't. It's a too many times would be abuse, but once you shouldn't feel bad about if she's ever done that to you. So I don't know, man. I can't. I really. That's fucking just unacceptable. That should be like in the Geneva Conventions. It's not to be done. Strict
Yeah.
military sanctions.
Yeah. And some people, like some of my friends at work, man, they do it so loud too. I literally I'd rather go in the bathroom and eat and just like go in the stall. It's just I don't know how some people have so little self-awareness about that kind of stuff too. And then they slurp their fucking drinks. It
Oh
just makes
fuck.
me gag. I can't eat it. I can't eat in the break room. That and they steal each other's lunches, but
Yeah, that's
uh
always shitty. I
the legend of the red beans. I don't know if you knew about that.
no.
There was a guy that got fired because he stole another guy's red beans and rice. Like, it nearly broke out into a brawl.
Actually, I think I heard about this now.
Oh, dude, the legend of the
Holy
red
shit.
beans. Yeah.
Yeah, I've never seen anything like that. Like I worked in a call center and we had a big break room, like with a bunch of benches and all that stuff, like 2 fridges. I never put a single thing in it. Like I would just go to the McDonald's next door because I was broke and McDonald's was still, dollar McDoubles, dollar McChickens, dollar small, like all that shit was a buck.
Yeah.
So it was cheaper than anything that I would have brought in, sandwiches or whatever the fuck. So I just did that. And I feel bad for people in their like young early 20s now because that's not an option for them really. Like I think fucking McDoubles are $1.60, $1.70 up here. So
Yeah. That threw me off, man. We lost our McDonald's for like a year. We had a tornado come a few years ago and like it wiped it out, took it right out. And we actually finally got a new one built. And I remember Sydney was like, "Hey, let's go get some Mickey D's." And I was like, "Yeah, that sounds good." And I went to go check out. I always get the same thing. I used to get a chicken club meal, but like
ooh,
after I started working in the oil field, like when I would go through the drive-through a lot, I wouldn't ever get meals. Because I'd always have a nice chest full of Cokes and stuff in the back of my truck. So I would never have to get a meal to get a drink, and I would just get like 2 spicy chicken sandwiches and 2 large fries. Like that was my thing, and I would go through it like nothing. And if I'm hungry, I'll still get that. And I remember I got that, and Sydney basically got like kind of the same thing because there's not as much food. Dude, my food was like $20. I was like,
god
what the
damn.
fuck? I thought it was gonna be like $9. Like fast food's not even cheap. It's like
No.
crazy. As a matter of fact, that's why we eat so much pizza. That's why we eat so much pizza, because it's cheaper for me to go to Domino's or Pizza Hut
Yeah.
now.
Yeah. I mean, around here, we don't have, honestly, it's fucking crazy, man. Like, there used to be Pizza Huts in like every other city around here. I say like very small cities, but like, I don't like, and they all disappeared during the pandemic. Like, I don't know if they were just like fucking drowning and then use that as an opportunity just to wipe out shitty stores, and they just all happened to be up here or what. But they all disappeared. Domino's was never up here. Like, there's a town where there is one, but I'm never there. And like, there's so much better food there. I will never get Domino's. Like,
Yeah.
everything else would have to be closed and condemned. But even like local pizzerias, which used to be like the luxury, because those places charged a premium. But now, like, that price is kind of fucking flatlined. I have not seen pizza prices skyrocket.
I don't know. It's wild shit. I remember when I was a kid, and me and you were actually the same age. You remember just as well as I do, dude. When you were a kid and you got pizza from Domino's or Papa John's, like that was a premium dinner.
Mm-hmm.
Like when that shit happened, like it was a special event.
Well, dude, because this was back in the era. People younger than us don't really know this. You used to go sit down at Pizza Hut.
Yeah.
You get like, on occasion, the buffet didn't come around too often. We didn't have anywhere that did it regularly.
I had
Like,
the
they
buffet
do it
at
like
mine.
once a month, But like, you order 2 fresh pies, they'd come down in the big fucking plate with the thing,
With the almost
Yeah,
like a decoration
yeah.
platform. Yeah. Dude, I remember
And-
wish I still had my Ken Griffey Jr. bat. I remember it was like 97, 98, 99. They did like a thing. And it was the styrofoam yellow Ken Griffey Jr. bat. They did like back when baseball players were fucking superstars because they were all jacked and on steroids,
5,000
man.
home runs this season.
Dude, Pizza Hut dine-in was a fucking vibe as a kid. And the chandelier thing above your head, oh, dude, what I wouldn't give
It's priceless.
What I wouldn't give to relive that just one more time.
Yeah.
One more
Like,
time.
I've been reading, now we're getting some Pizza Huts back in the area, and then over like the next year, but they're all just like the fucking takeout Pizza Express.
That's what I have.
And I don't know. I feel like that kills some of the magic, even if I don't want to sit down.
Yeah. I wish they would sell the chandeliers. I'd put one in the house.
I bet a lot of fucking abandoned Pizza Huts were broken into.
I
Just
wouldn't doubt it.
ransacked whatever they can get. I got this booth out of Pizza Hut. Oh, Jay the Stingray in the house. We're getting some questions here. Christian, what other pet peeves do you have?
Pet peeves that I have. I don't. I really was trying to rack my brain to think about pet peeves that I have. Dude, you know what? Honestly, this is like, I'm not trying to cop out. Just the older I get, the less I try to get worked up about anything. I swear to God, I really do. You know what I mean? Like, there are things like when I was trying to think about it today, and I was just like, I don't know. Like, I really just try to brush shit off now.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe as we continue talking about stuff, I can something will come up organically.
So what I'll say is that I have begun to try to like brush shit off, and that's taken for me, and I'm I'm not good at it, but what that has taken for me to get any of the positive movement I've gotten is just to get real high. I find like I've hit that point though now where like I can take a pretty good fucking beating, a couple 100 milligrams of edibles or whatever, and then not just pass out. Because it's in that point where you're fucking all your like present thoughts are just kind of like, I just chill. And then you just start thinking about shit. And it's like, well, this is why you do this. This is why you do this thing. Maybe you should look into this as it pertains to that. It's crazy. And I don't know. I don't want to be the weed guy, but that shit has for sure chilled me out a little bit. It's just like I'm fucking 30, man, and I'm positive that like I let shit get to me to the point where my fucking like if my blood were mercury, it would blow the fucking thermometer apart.
dude. Yeah. I don't know
Just
what it
like,
was that I used to. There was a small portion of my early 20s where I felt like I just always wanted to. I almost felt like I was looking at reasons to be angsty and pissed off.
yeah,
I don't know what the fuck my problem was.
yeah.
You know?
I mean, it's that thing. I think Patton Oswalt has a bit where he talks about how he used to like fucking rage against like Nickelback and fuck them, they're fucking trying to make money, losers, they're artists. It's like just let them make their fucking music. Shut up.
Same, dude. Oh, yes.
There are still certain things like that will bug me, but that is one I've tried to like fucking. All right, yeah, you're right. Who cares?
Okay. That's one of my fucking pet peeves. Is I'll say, dude, some of the music that's super popular today, where literally it's just fucking computer stuff. There's no humans making music. That's one of my pet peeves. I can't, and lip syncing. I can't fucking deal with it. People pay all this money just to see Selena Gomez in an arena. She's not singing. She's not even like there was one broad. I forgot who it was. Iggy something maybe. I can't remember if this is who it was. Maybe. I don't want to say it was her for sure.
Yeah.
But I saw the video. It went viral. This broad's on stage. She's singing. She drops her mic, drops it, and she loses it. The song's continuing. The dancers are dancing. The vocals are just completely going. And she literally has to look around looking for the mic. And as the vocals are still going, and when she finds the mic, she lifts up and the crowd cheers for her. Like, yay, she found the mic.
Jesus.
They don't even care that she's not singing. Like, what happened from Milli Vanilli to now? Like, when did this become not only okay,
right,
but literally people don't care. They don't care.
That's fucking crazy. Like, they lost their career over that.
They lost everything.
Which, potentially the difference being that they're frauds entirely. And like, I mean, at least, I think the idea is to assume Selena Gomez did record the song at least. But even still, but think about Ashley Simpson.
We lived that, dude. I watched that Saturday Night Live when it happened. Like, she was the biggest thing in the world at the time.
I thought she was she was it for me.
Yeah.
But like that killed her. That was fucking it.
Yep.
And that was what, 04?
Yeah, and then she did that
somewhere in there.
It was 04, and then like early 05, she did that Rose Bowl, and a crowd booed her out the arena when she got done. Booed her out the arena. And then she put out another record like a year later, and that was about it.
And now she's just fucking poking at her crazy sister. What a great family. Yeah. God bless the Spears. Dan says the Pizza Hut buffet and arcade was a big deal to me as a kid.
God bless.
And Big T says, just the fact that Pizza Hut gave away and sold VHS, how can you not love it?
Amen.
Jonathan and Billy Bean both say that they have a classic Pizza Hut that still does the buffet. Jonathan's does it every day.
And cherish it and go there every day.
Yeah, you should go every day. Just get a slice of pizza. Doesn't matter as long as you're partaking in it. But I know Jonathan he'll come on his lunch break and fuck it up. So, because he's a man. Joe says, my old Pizza Hut didn't have arcade, but had a jukebox. That's close enough. It's a machine. Put money in it and leave us alone. Oh, what do we get here? Jay the Stingray says, please don't swear. Billy says, further off, they have a Pizza Hut bistro, like a fancy version of the sit-down we used to have. Fancy Pizza Hut. Well, goddamn. All right.
Oh, God. Never one to hold
Retro
back.
Kick. Oh, boy. What in the name of Joan Rivers is this about? Yeah, we're taking over there, big boy. Big T says Taylor Swift was recently at Gillette Stadium. Jesus, Mary, and Joseph. You would have thought the Pope was in town.
Yeah, dude. People
Well,
love
that's
that
it.
broad.
Like, I guess that's another thing that maybe we're not taking into consideration is that people like that are selling out arenas really are just like cult leaders in a way. Like maybe not purposely on their fault or on their end, but it's just a bunch of fucking creepy weirdos and their kids that need to see this fucking cult of personality.
Do you think she's like, and I don't have an issue with Taylor Swift. She's clearly a singer and musician,
Mhm.
and that's cool. But do you think I was talking to my wife about this. I don't think it's healthy for any person in the world to ever be as famous as Michael Jackson ever again.
No.
And we were talking about who might be getting to that point. I was like, I don't know if anybody will, but I feel like in today's world, Taylor might be somebody that clearly can never go anywhere in public.
Yeah.
She'd get swarmed, completely swarmed by people.
There was so much lame fake backlash over that fucking dork from the 1975, Matt Healy.
I know that band, yeah.
I think that music's fucking lame, but there was so much fake backlash because he went on the Adam Friedland show and talked about watching Ghetto Gaggers and like on a fucking comedy podcast. Like there was so much, oh, he's a racist, and like they made fun of that fucking Ice Spice, which she looks fucking like a Down syndrome Eskimo and with like a clown wig. Like this woman is bizarre looking, and like this whole fucking thing. Like she broke up with the dude because of the backlash. Like I don't know that it was just like fucking, well, I'm too famous and I don't want to ruin your life. And also, yeah, maybe you are just like greasy and not good. I don't know. Fucking, I got no skin in the game. Fuck them both.
I don't imagine a girl like Taylor could ever probably be married long term anyway.
No, not unless she just fucking gave up.
Yeah.
But I think because she's our age too. I think, right? Got to be somewhere
just
in
a
there.
few years older than us, I think.
Older? Okay.
Just a few, one or two.
So she's pushing mid-30s then.
Yeah.
Pushing, not there, but awful. You have to fucking give it up now. You got more than enough money for you and your children and your children's children.
Oh God.
Leave it behind.
Yeah.
Settle down. Just fucking like pull an Olsen twins. Don't come out, But we got some questions from the chat here. We'll go to Joe Bob first. Problem Child 1 or 2?
I haven't seen the second one, so I don't really feel like saying 1 would be fair because I very well could like 2 better. But I'll leave it at that, Joe Bob. I've only seen the first one.
I had an answer, but it wasn't for me, so I won't weigh in. No. The first one has Kramer. It wins. Doesn't matter what the fuck happens in the second. I know I've seen it. I think that's the one where he gets like a sister and they fight, but then they're friends, and it's fucking, movies are stupid.
That sounds great.
Jay the Stingray asks, CHH, do you like to watch ladies eat turtles?
Oh God, dude. That, you know what that's about?
I assume it's those awful wet markets. Just fucking pulling a turtle's head out of the shell. And
well, they cook the damn thing. They take the turtle and they steam it and they boil it. And they literally they boil it so long that like the whole turtle becomes like kind of soft. And they literally just these it's like an Asian thing. Oh, yeah. I literally I get nauseous thinking about it. It makes me fucking gag.
I think Jay does. He's the one that plays that fucking video of the chick with that gooey duck thing.
Oh,
looks like the giant slimy penis in the shell.
I'm getting sick
just
thinking
fucking,
about it.
Oh, it's disgusting.
I get sick thinking about it.
All right, this one should be good, Christian. What is the grossest thing you've ever witnessed at any job you've had? I guess.
I never witnessed it, but there was a guy that got fired for masturbating in the warehouse.
Holy shit,
man.
Like, what comes over your head?
And the funny thing was, apparently, when he was caught by one of the supervisors, like they made eye contact, like he called out to him, and apparently like when the guy looked at the supervisor and the guy's like, "Hey," and looking at him, the guy's just like yeah, and like he finished, so they fired his ass. A probable cause.
Before the H sound left the man's mouth, my penis would have been so soft you could have spread it on a piece of toast.
I mean, just go to the bathroom, man. Like,
yes,
fuck.
it's really that easy. I mean, just fucking go into a stall. Someone
beat it
might
like it
blow on
owes
your
you money.
neck, but yeah, you're free to beat it as loudly and for as long as really you need to. Because are they going to check your duty? Got to make sure you're pooping in there. I don't think so.
I have witnessed a guy lose his finger. I work around really giant, powerful equipment, and it's basically a machine that when we make laminate wood, so like desks that you get from Walmart and stuff like that, that's particle board, and it has paper that's laminated and fused into the board, and they'll come in black. I do that for a living. And when we make a stack, we would call them units. Once we have a unit of 40 of 3/4 inch, 4 foot by 8 foot panels, they go through a machine that straps bands around it, and then they get packaged and sent out. So then the shipping people can load them on the trucks and go out to whoever's buying them. Well, we have to print out these tickets that have barcodes and unit numbers. It's an inventory ticket.
Yeah.
And there's a ticket that goes on the top of the unit and on the side of the unit. And this guy didn't put the ticket on before the unit started going into the banding machine. So he was running over to try to put it on, and he stuck his hand on top of the unit when the machine went down. This thousands of pounds of pressure went down, and he went like this, and he pulled back on,
I mean, I guess that's the positive. Like, as long as you're not like in the machine, you can get out of the machine.
Yeah, I mean it.
Not intact, but
yeah.
So, like, did it spray?
No.
Or was it just kind of like leaking? Just fucking.
Yeah, they were wearing a glove.
Oh, well, that'll help for a second anyway.
And that kind of stuff's just like,
yeah.
They tell you at work all the time. It's just like, listen, I don't care how behind we are, blah, blah, blah. Don't rush and do stupid shit,
Mm-hmm.
But people, you can't fix people being dumb, There's no safety rule for stupidity,
Yeah. Like, I think it's become like one of those weird blue collar cliches, but like you really cannot fix stupid.
No.
Like
that's why all safety rules are written in blood, as they say. They need to make rules after people.
There isn't a single rule at any kind of warehouse or production facility that isn't there because it happened once. Like every fucking thing.
Yeah.
Like, please don't balance the very hot coffee on your knuckles.
I had one of my buddies just shit his drawer. One of my buddies completely just shit his drawers because he was driving the forklift and he needed to get to the bathroom. He was at the other side of the warehouse, and there was a lot of potholes in the warehouse, and he just hit a bump, and it pulled the release valve on him, and he just shit his drawers. Had to go home. Oh, he stunk like a mule when he walked back. He's like, "Where you going?" He's, "Oh, shit my pants." I was like, "God damn, man."
I am so fucking thankful. It's been hairy a couple of times. I've been, nanoseconds away, but I've never actually shit my pants as an adult. I'm proud of that. I really am.
Well, I had a conversation with him after this too. I was like, "Dude, like, what are you doing?" He goes, "Dude, I couldn't make it. Like, I was driving as fast as I could. I hit that bump." I was like, "Dude, you know what? If I have to shit, that cement ground right there looks like a decent place to do it." And he's like, "What do you mean?" I said, "What I'm saying is, if I got to shit and I can't make it to the bathroom, anything's better than my fucking drawers."
Hell yeah, man.
You can't help it when you got to go.
It follows you around, like, get it out. But quickly, I'll say the one that I can remember at this point, I don't know. I guess I'd probably try to block shit like that out. No pun intended. But the house that I work at with the guys that I work, I take care of. One of them last winter got a stomach bug. So like 1 a.m. he comes down, he tells us he's sick, whatever. He puked. So we go up to his room. It is essentially flooded the floor because he lives in a very small room. He doesn't spend, like, he sleeps in there, watches a little TV. Otherwise, he's out somewhere else doing other shit. So, like, it's not a lot of ground anyway, and it is just fucking covered in vomit. And it took, I swear, 35, 40 minutes to clean it all up, to get it up. And it sucked. It sucked so bad. But that's not the worst of it, because we get him cleaned up, the room cleaned up. He goes to bed. He gets up for breakfast. I make him a little bit of like broth because I'm not fucking putting cereal down his throat. And then after all that, and like I gave him a soda because I figured that'd be better than him trying to drink milk or hot chocolate. Like before I could come back with the soda, he had fucking like exorcist projectile vomited up the wall. So it then fucking like just drained down like, like blood almost. Just like the wall was puking.
Oh,
it was horrendous. It's so fucking bad. Oh. Jay says, OSHA violation. Dan's laughing. He got busted with D in hand. Orc says, just shit everywhere.
That's what I'm saying.
Jay says, just wait, youngins. You got plenty of pants to ruin in your future. I hope not. Joe with Bob says, especially if you're wearing tighty whities, don't shit yourself. I feel like he knows that from experience, though. Big Crack Rock says, if I shit, then I shit.
That's it. That's it, man.
Dan says, this is America. You shit and fap wherever you please.
Oh.
But Corey asks, well, hold up. Let's do these ones. Joe Bob asks, CHH, would you eat milk duds with butter?
I never would, but my buddy Brandon sure as hell does. Sick bastard.
Such a weird thing. Like
he said he got it from The Simpsons. He said he was watching The Simpsons and Homer did it, and so he tried it and he loved it.
I don't know that I've seen him do it like that, but like his patented space age moon waffles seems similar because it's just fucking butter wrapped in like it's a stick of butter that's wrapped in cooked waffle batter and caramels, and then there's like liquid smoke in the bed. It's fucking horrendous, but that's the only thing I can think of off the top of my head that is that. Regardless, that sounds horrendous. But Joe Love says, yep, Homer did do it. Big T says Homer did it. I don't know. I just off the top of my head, I'm not recalling that one.
He swears by it, but I'll never.
That's crazy. Yeah, I ain't trying to double my money. Big T says he used movie theater butter.
Right.
I'll have to fucking look into that. I'm sure it's something that I'm just not remembering and I'm going to feel stupid. But Dan asks me, problem child 1 or 2. And like I said, problem child 1 is Kramer. So it's 1.
There you go.
But I think we're going to end it with this question. This should be the best one. Corey Ross asks, Steak and Christian, what was your best concert experience?
You go first. I'd love to hear it.
Okay. So there's so many actually. Like it's hard to pick one, but I'm going to pick the first one technically, which was 6 bands. It was in some weird like ag hall is not the right term, but it was just like this big fucking house or like building. There was a stage on either end of it, and the crowd is just fucking bananas in the middle. So like one stage was Billy Talent, Rancid, and Rise Against. I don't remember. I don't remember the third band. I know we didn't fucking hang out for that band. But then the other stage was Whitechapel, Killswitch Engage, and I don't remember the third one on that stage either. But Killswitch was sweet. Which, whatever, like I knew the CM Punk song and that was it, and they did play it, which was cool. This was 2009, I think. Rancid was incredible. I think 10. So I'm 10 years later, open up for the Misfits, and they sucked. They can't play anymore. It's terrible. Like, I was fucking shocked, and the Damned were bad at that too. But Billy Talent went on, like, third to last, I think. 3 songs in, the fucking crowd had gone so crazy that the barricade snapped. Like, not all the way, so like it wasn't some weird rush to the stage, but like the fucking lights came on, the show stopped for like a good half hour because they had to fucking fix the barricade because everyone was going crazy. I had never heard that band before. They were amazing.
Mm-hmm.
Billy Talent is still one of my fucking favorite bands because of it.
Damn, it sounds crazy as shit.
But what about you?
I feel jealous because I feel like you've just been able to see, and I feel like a lot of it is where you live.
Yeah.
You've seen a lot more bands than I have. It's
Really?
kind of yeah. I feel like you get to see a lot of cool bands, right? You know what I mean? Like the the punk rock band Pennywise. Like they'd never come around me.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. Go ahead.
I think like Buffalo has like the town ballroom, which is a ballroom. It's not huge, but it's a big enough venue for bands to come. Like Danzig can come through and play a show there, and it's not going to be like, oh my god, he's on his fucking last legs. Like it's a prominent venue, but it's intimate still. It's my favorite place to go for a concert, hands down.
Yeah. That sounds great. It's kind of a tie. In 2010, they had a festival called Edge Fest in Little Rock. And that was great because I kind of knew about this band called Lacuna Coil. But they played the second stage at this show, and I got to watch them perform, and they were great. Oh, and they had this beautiful singer. She is this they're like an Italian band, but they're kind of like hard rock. And they were really good, so I became a fan after that. But it was Rob Zombie and Godsmack headlining the whole thing, and Godsmack played last, thank God. And I got to see Zombie perform. This was not long after he just got back on tour because he had finished he finished Halloween 2. And this was early spring of 2010. So he was taking a break from movies. He was getting back on the road. And he says, all right, guys, I've got a new record coming out in a few months. It's called Hellbilly Deluxe 2. And I'm going to play everything from it. So he played he played Sick Bubblegum, Mars Needs Woman. He played the majority of the new album live. I never heard any of the songs, and it was incredible. And he had videos to go with the songs and everything. And I remember I was so excited. I picked up the record, and I remember I had a couple buddies like, "Oh, I can't believe he did a Hellbilly Deluxe 2. That's so cheap." And I was like, "No, you don't get it though. Like it's really good. Like the record's awesome. I love it."
Yeah. That honestly might be my favorite Rob Zombie record.
It's a great record.
It's that so or
Chew It Up, Spit It Out, Sick Bubblegum.
The one with Foxy Educated Horses.
Educated Horses. Too. That's a great record.
Speaking of Rob Zombie, though, probably around that same time, I think it was May or June of 2010. He was on tour with Alice Cooper.
Oh, that was the Twins of Evil.
Yes, I got to see that fucking tour. That was amazing.
Yeah.
And speaking of that, I'm going with my sisters in September, I think, to see them again in Scranton.
Same. Not Scranton, but
yeah.
Yeah. And I say this is probably my favorite ever. Although I'll never forget that night. That was incredible. But Alice just came by me, and it was the Too Close for Comfort tour. No opening acts. No bullshit bands I've never heard of. No bullshit bands I didn't feel like listening to. It was Alice in this beautiful, 250-year-old theater. It was this great theater near me. It's like a 6,000 seater, and it was humble. It was probably a little more than halfway full. It was a gas stop for Alice. I get that, but I got to see him perform no opening acts and a really good set list because I saw him play with Motley Crue back in 2000. I can't even listen to Motley Crue anymore. They're
It's hard.
Vince Neil sounds like trash, especially now. I don't care that
Yeah.
John Five's in the band. He's an idiot for joining Motley Crue, in my
Yeah,
opinion.
he
should
is.
stay with
but,
Rob. At least we get to see
John Five's
Riggs.
good, though.
We
Yeah.
get to see Riggs, the original. But anyway, I'm getting off track. But I got to watch Alice for an hour and a half. He opened the show with Alice Cooper, you have been accused of mass.
Oh, fucking Lock Me Up.
He
I
opened the show
love
with Lock
that
Me
fucking
Up.
song. Oh,
Yeah.
man.
He opened the show with that. He did Lost in America, which I love. I love the Last Temptation record. So that was great. He did Bed of Nails, which was I was freaking out.
Bed of Nails.
Oh,
Yeah.
it sounded so good. Sounded so fucking good.
I saw him.
I want him to play "I'll Bite Your Face Off" because I love that song from Welcome to My Nightmare.
About the only good song on that one.
I like Caffeine though. I like Caffeine. The song Caffeine. It's the second track on there.
Okay, that Kesha one's not awful either.
Yeah,
it's better than it has any right to be. What baby wants?
Yeah, but that was my favorite.
Great.
That's been my favorite experience. And my wife finally got to come because she kept sick and tired of hearing me talk about the Motley Crue farewell tour. Because I would be
I missed that, and I'm glad. But
it was just I couldn't wait to get the fuck out of there. I even begged my dad, like, Dad, can we please leave a song? Or they started going into Without You from the Dr. Feelgood record, and I was just like, Dad, please, let's go. Like that was our encore. I was like, let's go. So thankfully we got out of there, and
so I saw that tour. I saw it last summer. The tour that got canceled like 3 years in a row, with like them and Def Leppard and Poison, dude. Like Joan Jett, we got there late, so we only heard her. We didn't get to see her. So I took one of the guys, and he's older, slow. Get it. But like, so we got there a little late, didn't see her, but she sounded great from like outside the arena.
Oh, I'm sure.
Poison was like the best band. Like we didn't get to see Def Leppard because he just wanted to leave. It was hot. He's old. He's like, I've had my fill. I'm just so glad I got to see that fucking pile of shit try to sing. Vince Neil sucks a dick. He's so bad.
Well, it's so funny when you go back and look at interviews when they kicked him out in like 93, 94, where they got that Karabi guy. You'll hear Nicky say, nobody in the band was ever a big fan of Vince's singing. Yeah. We never thought he was a great singer. We always wanted somebody better. It's just like, then you take him back. I think terrible record. I hate Generation Swine.
Yeah.
Terrible record.
Karabi sucks. Anyway, and then fucking anything Vince Neil's done since he's come back has been awful too. Like fucking, what was it, Saints of Los Angeles?
Just garbage.
Awful album. It's terrible.
Yeah. Some bands like you got to respect Billy Joel after what was it, 93 when he did The River of whatever, something like he said like he put out that record, and I think it might have gone gold years later or something, but like I think he knew the writing was on the wall. He saw the writing, like he saw the way music was going. He stopped making records, and so he still sells out arenas because it's like I have so much respect for Billy Joel. Like he knew his time. He said it. Like it's not even me. He goes, I knew my time was up. I knew I've had my say with records and making records, and he stopped.
I guess I didn't know he had done that. There is a lot of respect in doing that because fucking. So I was watching like Are You Garbage? They went to the Indy 500.
Mm-hmm.
So they did a lot of shit there, and like Bryan Adams performed, and this motherfucker starts his set off with new shit. You're playing the Indy 500, dude. No one's fucking Bryan Adams fan currently.
They're there for summer of '69. They're there for heaven.
Yeah, like on like the hubris, the balls, and the fucking just the lack of self-awareness to go out there and go, hey, here's something off my new record. Kill yourself.
Yeah.
Brian. Not Trash. Not Brian Trash. You stay alive, buddy. I see you out there.
Yeah. I mean, do you have any Go ahead. I'll read that, and then I'll ask later.
Jamie says, I've seen 10,000 Maniacs, Debbie Gibson, Cheap Trick, Great White, Cypress Hill, The Fugees, Busta Rhymes, Dave Matthews.
yeah.
Why? Backstreet Boys and New Kids on the Block. I think that's it. Good to see you, Jamie.
I would have loved to have seen Debbie Gibson in her
Debbie
day.
Gibson would have been a good time. Cheap Trick too.
Yeah.
Shit, I don't know what 10,000 Maniacs is, honestly. But Great White, I guess I would have liked to be there for their big
The fire.
I just mean inside.
What I was going to ask you real quick was, do you have any legacy artists that you listen to that you still like, that they keep putting out records, even if you may not be a big fan of everything that they do? Like for me, I wasn't a big fan of Detroit Stories. I thought Paranormal was a pretty good record.
Mm-hmm.
But
Cooper is one that, he'll put out an album full of bullshit, but there'll be a gem or two you'll find.
Mm-hmm.
So he's worth checking out anything he puts out.
Well, what's the last, in your opinion? I always talk about Alice. I can't help it. But what is the last great? I'm not talking about live, but what is the last great record he put out? I mean, you would put it on and listen to it. For me, it's The Eyes of Alice Cooper. I think it's a great record.
That's a good one. The one that's before that. It's got Brutal Planet. Brutal Planet. That's the name of the album. Planet. Yeah, that one I like a lot. But I don't know. I was going to ask you actually, because that Along Came Spider.
I'm not a big fan of that one.
It's ambitious, or Vengeance Is Mine. I like a bunch. Other than that, I like the idea of it more than the actuality of it. But I was going to ask you, give me one of those 80s, I still don't know, if I'm alive or not, Alice records that you like. I think Last Temptation might be in that fucking... That might be right after he got clean. I can't remember.
Last Temptation. It was a while after.
Late 80s, that was early 90s, wasn't it?
94. So if you listen to the record, you can hear the 90s stripped down one guitar band, as opposed to Hey Stupid, which was the Wayne's World era.
Yep.
So they call them the Blackout records, which is Special Forces, Zipper Catches Skin, and Dada. Dada is an atrociously bizarre sounding record, but there's a song. So you're aware.
It's interesting.
Formerly Warmer is this incredible song. I'm a Special Forces guy. That's my favorite of the three. Skeletons in My Closet is the perfect Halloween party song. Yeah. If you've never listened to it, it's incredible.
Oh, Dyslexia off of Dada is fantastic too.
Dyslexia. Boom, ba ba boom. Boom, ba ba boom.
But I'll say it's one that's actually a little bit before that period is Flush the Fashion.
Yeah, and on the front of the record it says Alice Cooper 80 on it. Yep. Yeah.
But I saw them. They did a free show in Buffalo. They were the headliner. It was just two band. I think they're known sort of bands. I don't remember who they were though. He fucking played Clones and I lost my shit. It was the greatest night of my life to that point.
Yeah, it's interesting. He did, and there's a record he put out, a live record from 2015, and Clones was on there, and I remember freaking out, and I had to instantly buy it. I love when he puts out live records. I thought Paranormal Evening was so fucking good. The one he did a few years ago.
Yeah.
God, it was live in Paris, I think. I don't know how he does it. He's got the best band I've ever heard in my life.
Always such a killer band, man. And he'll bring back the guys from the original band on occasion for stretches of the tour or shows. Right. And that's cool as shit too. The funny thing is, it's less money he's got to pay out.
Yeah, and I was a little bummed that Nita came back, because I was telling my wife, I was like, holy shit, Sydney, Kane is in the band again. She's like, who is that? I was like, that's Constrictor, Rage Fish and Yell. That's that guy. That's the jacked up guy. And she's like, oh, okay, cool. And then sure enough, she comes back before the tour starts. And not that I'm complaining, because quite frankly, if I'm being dead ass honest, Kane's playing was a little washy,
Yeah.
but I would have forgiven it just to see, because he
Just to
still
see
looked
it.
this jacked up. But you know what? I was bummed, and it's funny. I was bummed out the first time because Orianthi had left the band 6-7 months before I saw them, and I fell in love with her. I was like, oh my God,
Yeah.
I can't wait to see this broad play live. She's beautiful. Like, she can play her ass off. And then, I mean, now I'm such a big Nita fan because she can shred her. She can
Yeah.
precision. Like, she does not, I've never heard her fuck up either at any video. Like, she must, I don't know. She's good. She's really good.
That's funny. But I mean, it's good. Like I think she was there. Maybe no, I don't think I've ever seen him with her in the band. Because it was a bunch of dudes on stage. It was like his young guys, and then mixed with the fucking like. The
Oh, he
old
had a
guard
great.
coming out.
If you saw him in 09, 10,
Mhm.
that was a
Yeah.
great lineup. Listen to the live record he put out live at Hammersmith.
Mm.
It's 2009. That's the band you heard. I believe that's the
Yeah,
name of it.
I think actually that was on sale. I think they had that on sale. It's like a flash drive. It was the first time I'd ever seen anyone sell a flash drive at a show.
That's actually probably a collector's item now. Theater
Oh,
of
I'm
Death.
sure it is.
Theater
Yes,
of Death.
yes,
live
yes,
at
yes, yes.
Hammersmith.
That is exactly fucking what they're.
This is an incredible, incredible tour, and he was performing from the inside live on this era. So you might have heard that live, which I would have gone crazy to hear that live. Is It My Body? He's not playing that at shows anymore. Like,
that's another really good record.
some stuff I would be upset if he, like Only Women Bleed. He has to play that. Vengeance is Mine. He did that on that tour too. So this is actually a great era because he was, still mixing in some stuff from it was a good set list. It was a good set list, but I know I'm really excited for his record coming out in the next month or so, Road. I've got decent hopes. I like the new song. I'm not in love with it. I just hope it gets a little heavier.
Yeah. That's the problem too. I think your voice goes, and like he can do the stage shit, but like there's something that's just it's missing on the. I've felt in the last several, like something's missing from his voice. Is just which I feel is just age.
Yeah.
Like there's.
But the thing is, dude, he killed. When I say
On stage, he still fucking murders.
I just think he needs to have a record like that. Like when I say he absolutely. When I say he killed Lock Me Up, if I would have closed my eyes, I swear to God, I thought I could have opened it back up and it would have been 1988 and I would have believed it. I mean, he sounded so intense. I don't know how he does it. He
takes care of himself. He's not fucking.
But you realize we're in the minority. People love Detroit stories, and the record went granted, it's a different era with terms of sales and stuff.
Yeah.
But that record debuted at #1.
That's crazy.
It's one of his best-selling records in a while. Like, it did way better than Paranormal, did way better than Welcome to My Nightmare. Like, people love this record, and it's I remember I had a conversation with you about it when it came out.
Yeah,
I was like, dude, I'm gutted. I'm gonna force myself to eventually like it. But
so speaking of Welcome to My Nightmare, I'm gonna talk about the good one. Have you ever seen the concert footage from that?
Yes,
the DVD that they put out. It's fun. Yeah, it's so cool.
That's my favorite record he's ever done. It's slowly become that, but man, I love it.
That one I think was pretty straight away my favorite, just because kind of the John from the Scarecrow Show, who more or less showed me all of Alice Cooper, like what there was to enjoy. Because like I knew Feed My Frankenstein, and that was about it. But like Killer is my favorite Alice Cooper album.
Oh, dude, that's a monstrous
front
record.
to back. Killer has my heart. Obviously, $1 Billion Babies doesn't have a bad track on it either. Maybe Marianne. Like that's the only one that might be close, but yeah, man. Well, shit, Christian. We're coming up on an hour and a half, so I think this is about time to wrap it up. I thank you for being here. What do you got coming up? Good.
I try to crank out. My thing now is I try to find times to chill out and relax. So like when I have off days, I'll try to think of 3-4 videos and I'll just record them and just get them done, throw them up on Patreon, and then put them out throughout the week. We have episode 100 of Unita coming soon. Just gotta get that planned out. That's about it. I do my live shows. I got my Planet Dirty show with my buddy Brandon, the Milk Dud butter eating guy. Do those once a week or so. I got Radio CHH, if anybody hasn't checked that out. I just do vinyl rips. I take songs I like and I'll do vinyl rips and throw those on there. Because, sometimes you'll hear, it's crazy. Like, there's a song called I Just Died in My Arms Tonight by Cutting Crew. And for some reason on Spotify and everything, that mix of the song, it's not what the vinyl mix is.
Really?
And there's a swell in the beginning of the song that's completely taken out of the Spotify record version. So like if you want to hear the song the way it sounded was back then, you can hear it on Radio CHH and stuff.
I do love that you just for some reason have a fucking copy of that record. I could put on the Cutting Crew.
I love. That's one of those. You ever have one of those songs where you grow up hearing it and it's just like, okay, it's part of your life, and then one day you finally hear it, and then you're like, my god, this song's fucking incredible,
dude. Like, as lame as it might be, like a lot of the songs in Rocky IV, like Survivor, especially fucking with Burning Heart and Eye of the Tiger, which is on the soundtrack for 4.
Mm-hmm.
It's always just lame. Oh, yeah, okay. Fucking, motivate.
But then you hear it one day.
Fuck it, dude. There's a couple lines in Eye of the Tiger that like, oh, that's me. I'm tough. I got it. I can keep fighting. It's like embarrassing that my brain goes through it. But
yeah.
There's weird ones like that. Like Thunder Rolls, that for like Garth Brooks song. Didn't know what it was about. Just a kid. It was on the radio all the fucking time. So, it's cool. He wears rhinestone shirts. He's an awesome guy. And now I have a fucking green screen. I love it.
You mean that wasn't a brick wall you were in front of?
Shocking, isn't it?
But yeah, that's what I got, man. I like I said, I keep myself busy. So I thought you would enjoy this. So I finally picked back up, and I just put this up on my YouTube channel a day or so ago. Night of the Living Dead 2006. Night of the Living Dead 3D. I watched that and did like a video. It's not really a review. I call them video essays where I just basically talk about my experience. And it's not really good. But it's it's really interesting. This was still a time in movies where you could have such incredible quality, but there were still those movies being made that were just like, good God, this is so bad. And as weird as it sounds, just a little bit, I kind of miss that.
Yeah.
I kind of miss that. Where like, dude, like you can take the title Night of Living Dead and make that movie, Yeah. But I will say I might have it right here.
Whoa, this is a family show. What the fuck?
Sorry. I did that video, and so I found out during that video that they made a prequel to that film 6 years later called Night of the Living Dead Reanimation.
Holy shit.
And it stars Andrew Devoff and Jeffrey Combs. And it legitimately stars them. And Steak, I'm not bullshitting you. It's not great, but I got to finish it because we went to my parents' house and I watched about 45 minutes of it. It's a little slow, but you can't help but just fall for it a little bit because Andrew Devoff is great and then Jeffrey Combs. And I swear to God, I'm kind of liking it. I swear to God, I'm kind of liking it.
It's fair enough. Shit like that happens. Like sometimes they'll get a hit. And I feel like it's weird that it's that same time period because there was an Indiegogo that I pledged to around that same time for a Night of the Living Dead project that like Michael Graves had signed on to act in, which is the only reason I put any money down.
Well, that's the Misfits guy?
Yeah. I don't, as far as I know, this movie never got made, but I wonder if it just didn't get made. Like fucking, and because I asked for, I made up a fucking thing. Someone died and I needed the money. It was a whole fucking bullshit story. I just didn't trust that they were going to make the movie. Maybe it's that movie and they fucking said, you can't act, get out of here. But I think it's much more likely they canceled the project.
Dude, that could be the case. The acting is fair. It's a lot better than Night of the Living Dead 06. I think Dan actually said he kind of liked this movie too. Like, dude, it's passable, but I gotta finish it. But if you can find it, you kind of gotta watch the first one. You don't really have to, but you kind of should see the 06 one.
Yeah,
and then go to, and it, like in terms of the bargain bin Living Dead movies, I would put Night of the Living Dead 3D 2006 over Necropolis and Children of Living Dead. Not Rave to the Grave, but over those two.
The fact that you're gonna, delineate between those is crazy to me,
dude. Like that's it's a fine line. Yeah, like they're all in shared space. Those I tell you what though, dude, those are some of my favorite.
Yeah. So what's next on that docket? You're gonna get through this one, and then what are you going for next? Flight of the Living Dead?
I think so. I'm gonna do Night of the Living Dead Reanimation next. And look, those videos for some reason they're somewhat evergreen. Like I'll go back and look at them. And I'm like, oh wow, like, one of them. I did those videos purely for me. I'm not an idiot. I know certain videos I do. I'm like, okay, this should do pretty good. This should get me some new viewers. If it's physical media, it usually that's kind of where my views come from.
Oh yeah.
And I figured out how to do the YouTube game slightly, right? But I'll do those Return of the Living Dead videos. That's just for me. And I have a blast doing it. But I'll go back and check the Necropolis video. And humble numbers, don't get me wrong. But I went to it the other day. I was like, God damn, it's almost got 4,000 views on that. And I'm just like, okay. And sure enough, my Night of the Living Dead one, it did pretty good. So I think once people kind of got a sight of what the videos were, it's not me just reviewing the movies. Like I really like to tell the story. I like to do a little bit of research, so it's fun. I'm having a blast. So I'm going to do Reanimation next. Then I'm going to do Flight of the Living Dead. And I got to do some more research. Like I'm sure there may be some more bargain bid Living Dead films around that time.
I mean, there's definitely a decent one from that era. It's actually, I would say it's without having seen it since I watched it in 2009, I think. Dance of the Dead.
Yes, that's one I need to.
It's actually pretty good. If I recall, maybe
I also want to go back. I want to go back and do video essays on. I'm going to do that Flight, Survival of the Living Dead.
Yeah, okay.
And then maybe what was the other one? Diary of the Dead.
Diary.
That was the found footage one.
Yep. Yeah.
And did George direct that?
Yeah.
Okay. Good. I'm going to do those two as well.
Awesome.
Because there's something about zombie films in that era, I think those were mid 2000s, 2011, 2012 ish.
Yep.
I have this morbid, no pun intended, fascination about them.
It's that like I don't know if nadir is the right word. That time period before The Walking Dead exploded.
Yeah. And even a little bit past it, like Reanimation's a little bit after it's kind of. I don't know, man.
I don't know if because that would be.
They started in 2010.
Yeah. So like 2 years, maybe they weren't quite as big as they would become. So, that kind of got out the very edge, of that blast. But
yeah,
I remember my last day of high school, talking with the nerd substitute teacher that was there, because I didn't go to the seniors because I'm like I am not going to try doing let me sit in a room until 2:30 when I will leave. Yeah. But he was like, oh, you like zombies? Because I fucking still never seen the movie. I ordered it off of some fucking t-shirt website. It was just a zombie, like Lucio Fulci. There's just a fucking "we are coming to eat you" or whatever the fuck the phrase is. I don't know. I don't know the fucking movie. I feel like an asshole. But
you had seen the movie already?
I hadn't seen the movie. I just bought the shirt because I liked it. I knew what it was, just hadn't. I was 16, 17. I was 17.
Okay.
So whatever. It was just fucking ordered online. It looks cool. Great. But,
No shame.
so he's like, yeah, there's going to be a TV show about it. Like, that sounds dumb. And I was right.
You know what?
But
dude?
it made a lot of money. So
It's incredible. You know what I used to watch though? No bullshit. I never really watched the show, but there was a thing called Talking Dead. And I don't know what it is about that. I knew Nicotero, and I'd see him on the show, and I was like, oh, I'll listen to Greg talk. And then Manson was on an episode or whatever. And this is before he turned into a bumbling fat, grandma. The beautiful pizza,
And I think Punk was on an episode or two.
Yeah.
Old
I used to
CM
watch.
Punk.
If they put out a Blu-ray of the Talking Dead steak, I'd buy it.
That's hilarious.
I swear to God,
I
I'd
bet
buy
a lot
that.
of people would though. I bet because it's just interviews with fucking celebrities essentially that watch the show and are interested in it.
You know what? Maybe they're on the Blu-ray special feature. I don't know.
Ooh.
It's funny, if you don't mind, I just want to bring this up.
Yeah.
I did a video a week or so ago about horror TV physical media, and I was showing some of the stuff that's come out. And I actually had a portion of that video where I said, you know what, guys, I truth be told, I've never been a big Walking Dead fan. No hate, just never watched much of it. But I regret back in the day when the early seasons were happening, these gorgeous releases would come out for the seasons, and there would be this giant zombie head with a screwdriver in it, and you turned it around and there was the Blu-ray case for season 1, and then one of them is looks like a fish tank thing, and it had a blue LED light inside of it with zombie heads and like this fluid, and that was like season 3 or something.
That's cool.
Do you remember those? Dude, they were gorgeous.
So I don't remember those for The Walking Dead. I remember similar things that I've seen. I think Piz has that. I don't know. Someone loosely associated with, us has a bunch of them. There's one I think that's why I think it's Piz, because there's that fucking the pieces, like I think it's like a fucking German something or other, but it is like a nice stand like that. It's very cool. But
like this was season 3, and it's like the statue thing with zombie heads in it, and there's like a blue LED light in the back, and they were doing this kind of stuff for the early seasons, and I used to see them all the time, and I just regret not getting them because they're beautiful like they double as like props for your horror room and like your shelf, and they did some cool ones, really cool ones. And now they're all, of course, hard to get.
$500, $1,000.
I want to say that show just
ripped
ended.
in half. I feel like it's, I think I've heard it wrapping up anyway.
If they do a box set of it one day, because I did get Supernatural, I have no idea if you ever watched that show. I fucking love it. I'm no bullshit. I love it. It's so good. But if they do a box set of The Walking Dead, I'll probably get it. Because I did go back and watch a few episodes of season 1, maybe 3-4 months ago. And sure enough, I was like, oh, that's Henry, Portrait of a Serial Killer. Oh, that's cool. And I'm recognizing that there are legacy horror characters in the show.
Oh, no shit.
And I didn't know that at the time when I first started watching it. And I guess I'm not going to give it a pass if I just don't like it, just because,
right.
Jeffrey Combs can't save every movie, but I don't know. I mean, dude, can millions of people be wrong? That's what I keep telling myself. Can millions of people be wrong?
I think generally you look at an election, there are millions each year. Don't matter the side, someone's wrong, whether your guy won or not. Is besides the point. But as we wrap up here, Christian, I want to thank you for being here with me.
My pleasure.
It's fucking amazing. This was such a good time.
My pleasure.
I want to thank everybody in the chat for being here. If you'd like to see me, I will be doing the regular Off the Grill podcast tomorrow over on my channel at 10 p.m. in the East. Also, patreon.com/Off the Grill podcast. Only $1 a month. You get an extra hour of podcast every week. Access to polls, the ability to suggest different titles for watch along, shit like that. And also, it just makes me feel cool. So, help me out. Other than that, I ain't got shit to say. So, until next time, Iris.